Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the FCS Football channel. And today we are back with a match preview for the Manchester United versus Spurs game, which is, of course, tomorrow. We will have a watch along for it. Details are on my side. So the stream will start about 8 o'clock, with kickoff being at 8:15. Obviously, this game week from the Premier League, it's all on BT Sport. So all the kickoffs are a bit of a bizarre times. We've got some at 7:30. We've got some at 7:15. We've got some at 8, some at 8:15. The fixture list is bizarre. The TV scheduling is bizarre, but it's the way it is. So we've got a 8:15 kickoff. It is what it is. United should still win. It doesn't really change anything, does it? But if we actually get into the preview, coming into the game, Manchester United have dropped from third place to fourth. Newcastle obviously beat Tottenham in their last game. What was it, 6-1? In what was it was a demolition first, 20 minutes? Was it 4-5-0 in the first 20 minutes? Tottenham were all over the place. Obviously, that led to Christian Stellini being sacked as caretaker manager and Ryan Mason now being the man to take charge there. Obviously, Manchester United, we had our FA Cup semi-final against Brighton on the weekend, so that's why we didn't play. So Tottenham are in a bit of an awkward position. They've dropped themselves from 5th to 6th, with Aston Villa winning 1-0 yesterday against Fulham. So Aston Villa all of a sudden have become a real threat to Tottenham and their top four hopes. Do you expect Aston Villa to hold on to that top 5 spot and get Europa League football? I would say probably not. I think you look at the teams around them. Liverpool, for example, they have 2 games in hand over Aston Villa. You'd back Liverpool to win those games. I think Liverpool will probably just about sneak into top 5 at this point. I don't rate Tottenham. Aston Villa are good. I just think Liverpool have the games in hand which will take them above them. But look, we're here to talk about Tottenham and we're here to talk about Manchester United. Manchester United, I think we will get top 4. I think that's pretty much done and dusted already. You look at Manchester United, we have 9 points on Liverpool. We've got a game in hand as well. We've got 3 games in hand on Aston Villa, and we've got a 5-point gap. And we've got 2 games in hand on Spurs, and we've got a 6-point gap. We've got plenty of breathing room from the teams below us, while also you look at Newcastle, they're playing an extra game, and we're on the same points. Goal difference, out of the question. They're going to do us for goal difference, but should it come down to goal difference, I feel like we've already failed. Manchester United should be getting top 4, should be getting 3rd place, because realistically, we should be winning the majority of the games we've got left. And that includes today. Sorry, I am ill. You look at Manchester United's last game in the Premier League. Obviously, we've played Brighton in the FA Cup. We've played the Europa League against Sevilla. But our last Premier League game was a 2-0 win over Nottingham Forest. Anthony and Diogo Dalot getting the goals in what was a very, very dominant performance from Manchester United. We were very, very good in that game. And I expected a performance similar. We played Spurs earlier in the season. We beat them 2-0 as well. We are better than Spurs. I don't rate Spurs. But what I would say about Tottenham at the moment is they are an unknown. If we look at the team news, they've got a few players out. Emerson Royale probably won't start anyway over Pedro Porro. Yes, Basuma, he hasn't been a starter all season really. Rodrigo Bentancur, that is a big miss for them. And Hugo Lloris, whether or not he will be fully fit or not, I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, he got subbed off at half-time against Newcastle. The claim is a groin injury. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just because he was playing dreadfully. Because I don't think Hugo Lloris is that good of a goalkeeper. There's no doubt he is an okay goalkeeper. He obviously has had a long career at Tottenham and as the French national team goalkeeper and captain. So he's not an awful player and not an awful goalkeeper. I don't think he's as good as a lot of people make him out to be, though. I think he is overrated. And I don't think he's a massive, massive miss for Spurs. But the uncertainty comes in the formation. Now, Spurs, since what? A couple seasons ago when they got Antonio Conte, have played a back three almost religiously. Under Antonio Conte and then under Christian Stellini. That may come to an end now. Obviously, Ryan Mason's in now. Where he took over Spurs when Jose Mourinho got sacked. And he played a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. So whether or not we will see Ryan Mason kind of stick with that 4-3-3, and that we saw him kind of deploy in his first spell as caretaker manager, or will we see him kind of stay with what Stellini and Conte was kind of employing with that back five or back three? Again, is a question that we'll have to wait and find out, and does bring question marks to this game and to how Spurs will play. Spurs' key player is undoubtedly Harry Kane. We know the qualities Harry Kane brings to this Spurs side. He's a reliable goal scorer. This season, assists-wise, he hasn't been at it, but I think that's mainly due to the team he's got around him and the players he's kind of passing the ball to just aren't good enough. More than his creative numbers have gone down, because I believe his numbers, his key passes, chances created, so on and so forth, are still very, very high. Spurs just don't have the team around Harry Kane to provide him the chances to create assists. You look at Heung-min Son, his goals haven't been good enough this year. Neither has Kulusevski. Richarlison has been a disgrace. So who's he really had to get assists for? And that is why I think Harry Kane's assist numbers are down. Not because anything he's doing. He is still an absolutely unbelievable forward, goal scorer, provider. He can do it all. When it comes to Manchester United, we have got a couple of injuries. Scott McTominay's a doubt, as is Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, he came off against Brighton. I thought it was a bizarre decision. Turns out it was an injury concern, so that makes sense. Unfortunately, he has over the weekend had his foot in a boot. He's been walking on crutches as well. Apparently today he's been spotted without the crutches, but Erik ten Hag earlier in his press conference, which was about half an hour ago, did say that Bruno Fernandes is a doubt. Obviously, Garnacho, Lisandro Martinez and Rafa Varane, they are all definite outs. They are missing this game. They are injured. We're likely to see Garnacho and Varane back by the end of the season. Come that FA Cup final, both of them, the hope is that they are available, especially Alejandro Garnacho. But we're not 100% sure just yet. While Scott McTominay, Erik ten Hag said it will be touch and go. But it's looking more and more likely that he will at least be able to be on the subs bench. Which, while I don't rate Scott McTominay that highly, it's best to have your full squad available to you. Even if you're not going to use him, it's better to have him than not have him. Now, before we get into my team predictions and the team I would play, I thought we'd have a bit of fun and we'll do a combined 11, or I will show you at least my combined 11 of Manchester United versus and Spurs players. As we always do when we do these combined 11s, this is purely based on the players that are available for this game. So, as you can see on your side, Lisandro Martinez, Rafa Varane, Alejandro Garnacho and Scott McTominay aren't available for Manchester United. And for Spurs, Basuma, Royale, Bentancur and Hugo Lloris aren't available. As if any of those would get in anyway. I have included Bruno Fernandes because I think he probably will be available. Bruno Fernandes doesn't miss games of football. I don't think he's ever missed one in his career. I don't think that's going to change. So this is my combined 11. I've gone for David De Gea in goal. He's better than Fraser Forster. He's better than Hugo Lloris. Back four, I've gone for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I've gone for Romero. I've gone for Luke Shaw and Diogo Dalot. Left backs for Spurs, who do they have? They have Perisic. And they have, what? Is it Ryan Sessegnon? Ben Davis? None of them were ever going to get in over Diogo Dalot at left back. Dalot's been fantastic since moving there. And as we saw against Spurs when they played a back four, against Newcastle, Spurs can't play a back four with Perisic as a left back and Pedro Porro as a right back, which means these two just easily went in. If Lisandro Martinez or Maguire was available, I would, not Maguire, Lisandro Martinez or Varane, were available. Luke Shaw would play as a left back, and Diego Dalot and Wan-Bissaka would fight out for right back. But with those both being out, Luke Shaw goes at centre back. Dalot takes his role as left back. Lindelof was close to getting in there. Eric Dyer, Clement Longley, Davinson Sanchez, they were never even close to getting in. It was either Luke Shaw or Lisandro Martinez, or Luke Shaw or Victor Lindelof. I was even debating whether or not even does Christian Romero get in. I think he's massively overrated, Christian Romero. He's a good defender, massively overrated in my opinion, though. I don't think he's up there along the Premier League's elite. If I'm going through centre-backs, I'm going most of Man City's. John Stones, Ruben Diaz, Ake, probably even Akanji, Lisandro Martinez. For me, I'm sticking Varane in there. Gabriel, Saliba, Van Dijk, Konate. I've got 10 centre-backs there. Thiago Silva, 11, before I'm even considering Christian Romero. So, you can count yourself lucky Romero's even in there for Spurs. The rest of the midfield, it explains itself. Eriksen gets in easy. Christian Eriksen would be Spurs' best midfielder still. And we're 5 years on from when he left. Casemiro, again, would be Spurs' best midfielder. Again, Bruno Fernandes would be Spurs' best midfielder. Marcus Rashford has been absolutely miles better than Heung-min this season. It's not even been close. Anthony, I'm taking Anthony over Kulusevski. I'm taking him over Richarlison. Every single day of the week, I'm taking him over Richarlison. He's awful, Richarlison. But I'm taking Anthony over Richarlison. I'm taking him over Kulusevski, especially based on this season. I don't think either of them have been particularly great, whereas I think you look at Anthony in his first year in the Premier League, he's getting better and better each game. He's looking dangerous. He's a threat. I think he goes in there quite easily. And then look, well done Spurs, you get a second player. Harry Kane gets in there easy. Availability, he's always available. He's a fantastic goal scorer. It'd be great to see him in a Manchester United shirt next season. When we go to the team I think Erik ten Hag will play, it's pretty much our combined 11. But obviously Lindelof comes in. Martial comes in for Harry Kane and Christian Romero, And I have a feeling he will go with Fred today. Or tomorrow, I think the issue we've got with Christian Eriksen is I don't know whether or not he is fully fit. Plus, in these sort of big games, I think Erik ten Hag likes to turn to Fred just for that bit more mobility. He's able to break up play a little bit better. I think Erik ten Hag likes that in big games, and that's why I think we will see Fred come in for Christian Eriksen. Personally, I would go with Christian Eriksen, De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Shaw, Dalot, Casemiro, Eriksen, Anthony, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford and Martial. I think Eriksen, Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes, they have a great partnership and connection together. I think they all play at their best when they're alongside each other. So that's why I would go with those three. I don't rate Spurs' midfield that highly. I don't think Oliver Skipp is all that. Højbjerg, I like him. He's not great, not awful. We've no Bentancur and no Bissouma. We're almost guaranteed to see that midfield too, unless we see Pape Sarr come in. He looked out of his depth against Newcastle before he came off. I don't really see any reason not to start Christian Eriksen and get him pushing forward in this kind of a 4-3-3 shape. Casemiro can do the job alone and have Bruno Fernandes and Eriksen pushing forward into this front line and really causing problems for Spurs and their back, whether it's a back three or back four. I think that's going to be the role of Bruno Fernandes, and for me would be Christian Eriksen. I don't think there's any need to start Fred. I don't think their midfield is good enough on the ball, particularly. They're not particularly great dribblers. Oliver Skip is the better of the two out of him and Højbjerg. I don't think Skip is unbelievable though. I think he's all right, but nothing Casemiro can't kind of do on his own. And I think you let Christian Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes to get forward, you're going to cause a lot more problems for Spurs. So as such, I think it is worth taking the risk of starting an Eriksen alongside Bruno. And I mean, you look at when we played Brentford, those two ran the show together. Was it Brentford or was it Nottingham Forest? One of the two. They ran the show together. So stick them in. Stick them in. Now, prediction-wise, I think Manchester United do win this game. I do think we do go back up into third place, providing the Newcastle play today or tomorrow. Find out. So Newcastle play tomorrow. So I do think we match Newcastle because Newcastle play Everton tomorrow at Goodison. I think Newcastle will probably win that. But I think Manchester United will go back above. We'll go, I guess level on points still with Newcastle because I think we'll both win. Spurs, they'll be in a dire situation where they're now mathematically below, they are below Aston Villa in the table, having played the same amount of games as them. That is a worry for Spurs. Massive respect to Aston Villa for that, but it's a big worry for Spurs because they want to be playing Champions League football. Harry Kane, he's not going to stay long. He's not going to stay much longer, especially if they don't get Champions League football, which at this point, I think the Champions League dream for Spurs is over. I think for Spurs at the moment, and for the rest of the season, it's Europa League or Conference League. That's the decision for them. So they need to be winning. I don't think they're going to be able to beat Manchester United. I'm going for another 2-0. 2-0 Manchester United win over Spurs. Easy as you like, I suppose. But look, that is going to be it from me today. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And like I said, we will have the watch along tomorrow for this game. We'll also be doing the watch along for the Manchester City versus Arsenal game tonight. That's at 8 o'clock, so we'll be live about 7:45 for that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Arsenal can win that, and we'll have a title race for the rest of the season. If not, if Man City win it, or if it ends as draw, league title's done, and it's Man City's throwaway at that point. But it should be a really good game, a title decider at its finest. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please do tune in for both the stream tonight and the watch along tomorrow. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one in a bit. Peace.